Hi folks, this is all the fruit, and finally I have the confirmation that cherimoyas, those tasty subtropical fruit, are fruiting even in the south of France. Well, I'm here in the city of Menton, probably the city with the warmest and mildest climate in all of continental France. It is sandwiched between the Alps here in the background and the Mediterranean Sea on the other side. And as you can see from this giant citrus collection in the Palais de Carnol, oh god, I'm butchering the name for sure. The climate is extremely mild because in the rest of France those citrus couldn't grow outdoors without any protection. In the rest of France the chateaus or palaces have citrus collections in pots, but this chateau here has hundreds of citrus outdoors, and they have a small dedicated exotic fruit tree experimental collection with stuff like, this is most probably water apple or rose apple, star fruit, lily pilly, and even mangoes. Well, most of those trees are not fruiting right now, but the cherimoyas are. Cherimoyas in Europe, the only slightly more traditional area of cultivation for them which I know was at the Costa Tropical in southern Spain, which is many hundred kilometers further south than here. However, I've seen cherimoyas, I've seen them in Sicily in the Botanic Garden of Palermo, and there I wondered why nobody is cultivating them. But the Botanic Garden of Palermo is also hundreds and hundreds of kilometers south of here. And now I'm seeing it here in France, at the same geographical latitude as southern Canada. Two trees, and both have several fruit. They are very young trees. Here you are the fruit. 1, 2. Well, there was a small one here, but there was a bigger one back there. 3, 4. This is one of the biggest ones here. Look at the size. Well, they still look very small compared to the cherimoyas you get in the supermarkets, if you are lucky enough, because Annonaceae are some of my favorite fruit. Cherimoya is maybe my favorite Annonaceae, but finding good cherimoyas, for example in Germany, is extremely difficult. Let's see, this second tree had also a couple nice fruits. I wanted to show a couple flowers, but it seems that the flowering season is just over. Here are some very young fruits. Well, it seems that the trees thrive. They survived the harsher winter of last year. Here seems to be the remnant of an old fruit from last year. Well, at another botanic garden I thought I had even seen small feral cherimoyas, but then I decided that those are all feral pawpaws. Well, why are those fruits so small? In Spain I learned, if you want big cherimoya fruit, you have to pollinate them by hand. This is not that small, but still quite small. Yeah, because pollination, natural pollination, yeah, it works, but this is not a fruit. This is actually a whole inflorescence, a cluster of fruit which are grown together, more or less like a pineapple. Not exactly like a pineapple, but similar. And so, if an insect just brings like 20 or 30 grains of pollen, it can pollinate a maximum of 20 and 30 of those little fruit, and you'll get maybe a cluster fruit of this size, which looks like one fruit. But if you take a paintbrush and transport like a couple thousand pollen at once to this flower, well, you might pollinate 50 or 100 or even more. Oh, look here, there is a bigger one. You might pollinate maybe 50 or 100 or more of those single flowers, and so your fruit, your composite fruit, will be considerably bigger. Here I guess at least 50 were pollinated, but imagine if you pollinate 200 or 300. Okay, this fruit I'm sure will grow a little bit more, but not too much. Of course it's not ripe yet, no use to pick it, but even if it grows to like 2/3 bigger than this, it will still be too small for commercial use. Yeah, even on the Costa Tropical, the farmers pollinate them by hand. I don't know if anybody is pollinating them here by hand. I don't know how well versed those people are in Cherimoya cultivation. It's a park with mostly citrus. But I'm happy that I finally confirmed that those things really can fruit in southern France at the same geographical latitude as southern Canada. Ain't it amazing, folks? Look at that. Other places like this at the same geographical latitude in America or maybe in Asia, I haven't found any in the literature yet. Please tell me if anything like that is possible in other parts of the world. Guavas, lilipilis, cherimoyas, mangoes, avocados growing at the same geographical latitude as Toronto or what can you say, Detroit or Chicago. So folks, really glad that I finally found those cherimoya fruits. Stay tuned for a lot more fruit videos from the beautiful and subtropical climate of Menton in southern France. And don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe.